Hello students, welcome to my channel English Camp. Today I have selected a very valuable and useful topic for you. It's very common. You might have studied this topic for a long time. So name of this grammar topic is tense. I have written here tense. So this is such a vital topic which is connected to other grammar topics. If you don't know what is tense actually, you cannot solve the questions from other topics. Tense is said to be the mother of all the grammar topics. It is such a vital topic which is included in the syllabus of all the classes, starting from primary to UG and PG. Tense is such an important topic which you have been taught for so many years and for so many times. Still, I am sure that you have lots and lots of doubts. So I am giving you assurance, after today's class, 90% of your doubts will be clear. Let's start. The name of the topic is tense. First of all, we should know what tense is. Tense is nothing but it is a form of verb. Remember, it is a form of verb which shows or expresses the time of an action. Simply remember, tense is nothing, it is a form of verb which expresses or shows the time of an action. So today's topic is particularly I have written here present simple. Present simple. This is the first form. Very first form of tense chapter, simple present, or you may say present simple. So two things you have to remember. One is the structure, the other is uses. You have to know the structure of all the forms and the uses of all the forms. If you learn the structures and uses attentively and very carefully, definitely you will be able to solve all the questions coming from tense. So let's start. The structure of present simple. I have written here the structure, that is formula you can say. Structure of present simple. First one is affirmative. This one is affirmative. Or you may say in simple language we say positive. So affirmative. What is the structure of affirmative? You see I have written subject plus V1. This is the smallest structure. In tense chapter, the smallest structure or smallest rule is simple present rule, that is affirmative. Subject plus V1. If you take a subject and a verb of the first form or base form, it becomes a sentence. So S plus V1 or S plus V1 plus S or ES. In which cases S or ES is added to the verb. Original formula is subject plus verb. V1 means that is the base form of the verb or the first form of the verb. So this is the original. This is the actual structure. But in some cases, one S or ES is added. In which cases, when the noun or when the subject is third person singular number, he or she or any name. So in that case, one S or ES is added to the main verb. So example, he goes to office every day. You see, he is here, he is subject, although it is pronoun, but it works or does the work of a subject. So he is subject and goes is verb, you say, that is V1. S is added or ES is added because it is third person singular number. He is third person singular number, that is why goes. So he goes. Actually, the sentence ends here, grammatically correct. If you write he goes, that means your sentence is grammatically correct. Then these are the additional words. These are the words which are used to extend the sentence, the meaning of the sentence. So these are not included in the rule. The simplest rule or the smallest rule is S plus V1. He goes. After goes, anything can be used. Any additional information can be used. That may be an adjective phrase, maybe a noun phrase, maybe adverb phrase or prepositional phrase, whatever it may be. Maybe object. So no matter what it is. So here you see he goes. Here the actual rule is finished. Then come to structure, that is negative structure. This is affirmative, this is negative. So what is the structure of negative? If you want to make it negative, simply you have to do, see, subject plus do or does plus not plus V1. Same structure is applied here, but in case of negative, we have to use the auxiliary verb do or does. So here you have to remember. Now you start to remember that do or does are the auxiliary verbs or helping verbs of the simple present. Though it is not reflected, though it is not in the affirmative form, but in the negative form, you have to write do or does. This is what you have to remember. That do or does, these two are the auxiliary verbs of simple present. Do or does plus not plus V1. So we have to match the example. He does not go to office every day. Simple. That is same example I have given here, you see. So that you can understand it well. So he is subject, does not. Does plus not. What the rule says? Subject. What the rule says? Subject plus do or does plus not plus V1. Here subject is he. Does is used, you see. Not is also used. V1 means go. So here actually the formula is ended. He does not go. First one is he goes. Second negative is he does not go. These are the additional words. These are the additional words. You should not worry about all those words which are used in this sentence to give extra information. Then come to third. That is interrogative. Or question form you may say interrogative. What is the structure of interrogative? Do or does. Here what happens? Do or does comes past. Do or does plus S plus V1. Always remember, that means this is the base formula. Always you have to mark the affirmative formula. Using affirmative formula, you can change it into negative, change it into interrogative. If you forget the affirmative formula, nothing can be done. So this is the base formula. S plus V1 is the base. From the affirmative, negative is made. From the affirmative, interrogative is made. So what is, again I am repeating, what is the structure of the interrogative or formula of interrogative? Do or does plus subject plus V1. This is the structure of interrogative. Example, does he go? Here I have written, does he go? Does he go to office every day? Does he go to office every day? What I did? Does. Here you see that is does is at the beginning because formula says do or does. First of all you have to use do or does. So here does is selected plus subject is he, go is V1. Formula, application of formula is finished. Do or does plus subject plus V1. So these are the additional words. So does he go to office every day? So this is called yes or no type question. Another type of question is called WH type question. You can frame a WH type question also by using any WH word. Which are the WH words? You can say when, which, where, how, why, what. These are the WH words. So using WH words you can also frame a question. That is, you see when does he go to office? This is WH type question. So in short or in detail, that means you have learned that affirmative sentence and negative sentences end with full stop and two interrogative. That is yes or no question. This is yes or no question. Yes or no question and WH question end with question mark. Then after I will teach you the uses of simple present. Now see, these are the uses of simple present. First one is habitual action. So you have to learn in which case or in which situation you have to use present simple form. So first and foremost rule is or use is habitual action. What do you mean by habitual action? Habitual action means what we do regularly or habitually, just like a daily routine. This is called habitual action. First of all, you have to understand what habitual action is. Habitual action means what we do habitually or just like a habit. Example, I read the newspaper every morning. This is I have written, you see, I read the newspaper every morning. So this is what I do habitually. This is just like my habit. So whenever you are expressing your habit, if you find that the sentence itself expresses any habit or habitual action, in that case you have to use simple present. Here I have applied read. Read is a V1. Remember the structure. What was the structure of present simple? Affirmative structure, that is subject plus V1, that is I is the subject, V1 is read. So this is all about habitual action. Then come to rule number 2. General truth. That is simple present is used to talk about general truth. What we have accepted, which statement or fact we have accepted generally. There is no proof at all. Example, tigers live in the forest. See, tigers live in the forest. We don't have any optical evidence. We don't have any proof who gave this truth to us. From time immemorial, we have been learning this. We know it very well that tigers generally live in the forest. This is general statement. Generally, we accept this. Our forefathers were accepting, our ancestors were accepting this fact, we are also accepting this fact. It is general truth. No optical proof is there, optical evidence is there. Nobody has proved it. So this is called general. What is generally accepted, that is called general truth. That is what we have generally accepted, that is called general truth. For general truth, simple present is used. Here you see leave is there, that is the simple form, present form, or V1 is used. Then use number 3, scientific truth. This is scientific truth, you see. This is scientific truth. Scientific truth means which is scientifically proved. It is experimented in the laboratory, then after the truth has brought to light. Scientists have given us this truth. This is called scientific truth. What is the example of scientific? Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. So if we survey this sentence, if we study this sentence, water boils at 100 degrees Celsius, that means we have got this statement or information from the scientist. It has already been proved in the laboratory. Then after this truth had come to light. So water boils. Boils, you see, present simple is used here, that is V1 form. Water is subject, V1. Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. So this is the example of scientific truth. Then use number 4, universal truth, which has been universally accepted or globally accepted. That is, there is no change at all. We human beings have no control over that. It is spontaneously happening. You can say there is law of nature also. Universal truth is equal to law of nature. It happens spontaneously. We don't have any power. We cannot change it. We cannot stop it. Example, the sun rises in the east. This is universal truth. The truth which was in the past, which is in the present, which will be in the future. So this truth is called universal truth. We human being has no control over it. It is happening daily basis. Nobody can stop it. So the sun rises in the east is the example of universal truth, which is universally proved. Next, rule number, or that is use number 5, scheduled events or timetables for future. Schedule, which is already fixed, fixed timetables or fixed events. Suppose the date is fixed, timetable is fixed, exact time is fixed for any event or any program. So this is called scheduled events or timetables. In that case, we can use simple present also. Example, the train leaves at 7 p.m. Several examples, other examples are there. So this is what you see, train leaves, that is V1 form. Simple present is used, the train leaves. So whenever you go to the station, we find that there is a long list. When the train arrives, when the train leaves. So this is what is called scheduled events or scheduled timetable for future. The action happens in future time, but it is already fixed. Another example I am giving, the Prime Minister visits Kolkata tomorrow. The match begins. Our examination starts. Tomorrow is Sunday. So these are all the examples of, you see, scheduled events or timetables. Timetables are already fixed in the calendar. Timetables are fixed in the offices, in a departmental or departments. So these are all the examples. The next one is mathematical truth. So this truth has been given to us by the mathematicians. 2 plus 3 makes 5. Means mathematical calculation, you can say. Mathematical calculation always takes simple present form. Makes is there, you see, V1 form. So all the examples have V1 form because simple present form. All are affirmative sentences are given and all the sentences are having V1 form. So 2 plus 3 makes 5. Any calculation, any mathematical expression you can say, all those things or all those sentences will be in present simple form. Then rule number 7, permanent state or fact. Permanent state or fact. Permanent state or fact. You say, example I have given, my friend lives in Mumbai. My friend lives in, what does this sentence suggest or what does this sentence express you? This sentence expresses that my friend lives in Mumbai permanently. So this is a permanent fact. This is a permanent state. Permanent fact or state. My friend lives in Mumbai. This is a permanent state. Another example I can give you. This road goes to Patna. Suppose I say this road goes to Patna. This is also permanent state. So for permanent state or fact, we use simple present over Then come number 8, that is exclamatory sentence beginning with here and there. Very interesting thing. This rule is exclamatory sentence beginning with here and there. If a sentence begins with here or there, simple present form is used. Here I have given the example. Here comes the bus. See, this is the mark of exclamation I have given at the end of the sentence. So here comes is the V1 form. Here lives is the V1 form. So here comes the bus. This is an exclamatory sentence, ends with a mark of exclamation. So this becomes simple present, that is here comes the bus. It is an exclamatory sentence, begins with here. The rule says that if a sentence begins with here or there, simple present form must be used. That is V1 form must be used. Then come to rule number 9 or use number 9, running commentary. So what do you mean by running commentary? Running commentary means that is the commentators or those who make the commentary in the matches, in the cricket matches, in the football matches or any matches you can say, they always use present simple form. This is what the grammar says. Example, Dhoni hits the ball for a big six. Here you see mark hits. Hits is present simple, V1 form. Why? Because this is running comment, statement of running commentary. So whenever the statement of running commentary is there, then simple present form is used. Dhoni hits the ball for a big six. Then come to use number 10. Use number 10 is historic present. So what do you mean by historic present? Historic present means describing a historical event in a dramatic manner. So when we want to describe a historic event in dramatical manner, we have to use simple present. See the example, you see, the king's army now advances. The king's army now advances. You see advances, that is present simple is used here, advances, and the bloody battle starts. Two verbs are there in this sentence, you see, advances and starts. Both are in present simple, V1. Or base form of the verb are used in advances or this verb, that is advances and starts. Both are simple present. So this is called historic present. Then come to use number 11, quotations of the authors or poets. What I told, quotations of the authors or poets. Example, Shakespeare says, here you mark the example. Shakespeare says, life is but a walking shadow. So this is the statement or this is the quotation which is given by Shakespeare. But here we have applied says. We cannot say Shakespeare has said, Shakespeare was saying, Shakespeare said. No, Shakespeare says. That is, whenever we talk about the quotation of the authors or poets, we have to use simple present, says. Then rule number 12 or use number 12, proverbs. When we talk about the proverbs or idioms, we can use simple present. See, barking dog, a barking dog seldom bites. Here you see bites. Bites is the V1, that is simple present is applied here. Again, a barking dog seldom bites. Another example I have given, morning shows the day. These are two examples. These are two proverbs or idioms. In both the examples, you see here bites, that is present simple is used, or V1, here shows, that is also V1. In both the examples, V1 is applied or present simple is applied because these two examples are proverbs or idioms. Then rule number 13 or use number 13, to express formal declaration. Formal declaration. Example, the education minister inaugurates the book fair. This is a formal declaration by the Minister of Education. Inaugurates, you see here present simple is used, V1. Always in all the examples you find V1 or present simple form. This is all about to express, whenever we want to express the formal declaration, we have to use simple present form, that is inaugurates is the example of simple present, application of simple present here. Another example I can say you, the speaker announces the end of the winter session. So announces. This is another example of the same rule. Then come to rule number 14 or use number 14. If clause type 0 and type 1. That is simple present is used in the if clause of type 0 and type 1. If clause. As you know, if clause in the previous video I have already taught you What are the types of conditional sentences? So if clause, there is 4 types of conditionals are there, type 0 and type 1. If clause of type 0 and if clause of type 1, we use present simple form. Example, if you kick the ball, it rolls on. You see, rolls on. Here you see kick. Kick is V1. This is also V1. This is if clause, full sentence, that is full clause is if clause, and this is main clause. In main clause, present simple is used. In if clause, present simple is used. This is all about type 0. Then what I told, if clause type 0 and type 1 also. In type 1, that is only if clause. In type 1, only in the if clause present simple is used. You see, if it rains, I have written here, if it rains, that is V1. If it rains, I will stay at home. It is the main clause. So main clause is something different. In main clause, present simple is not applied. Only the if clause. That means both if clause and main clause of type 0, simple present is used. But in case of type 1, only if clause takes the present simple form, that is V1 or rains. If it rains, I will stay at home. Then rule number 15. Rule number 15 is about the stative verb. That is, simple present is used for the stative verbs. So what do you mean by stative verb? A stative verb is a verb which describes thoughts, feelings, emotions, possessions, perceptions, senses and mental activities rather than physical activities or physical actions. So what are the examples of the stative verb? You see, I have written here like, love, hate, prefer, see, hear, smell, taste, want, hope, think, believe, look, seem, know, own, contain, belong, etc. Resembles, etc. So these are called the examples of stative verbs. So stative verbs are always in present simple form. Examples. Example, I like sweets. Very simple example I have given, that is V1. Here present simple is used. I like sweets. Like is a stative verb. He looks smart. You see, he looks smart. Looks, that is, it is also present simple. So he looks smart. We can never say he is looking smart. We can never say I am liking sweets or any other form we can use. Cannot use. Only we can use the simple present, that is like, I like sweets, he looks smart. Another example I have given, we believe in God. You see, believe is a stative verb. So this is in V1 form or present simple form. We believe in God. I know him well. This is also V1. Last one is honey tastes sweet. Taste is also V1, that is simple present. All the examples, in all the examples, simple presents are used because all these verbs are stative verbs. Then last use, that is rule number 16 or use number 16. Simple present is used for the adverbs such as generally, usually, normally, occasionally, often, always, every day, every year, every month, etc. You can use also. So these are the adverbs. These are the adverbs of time and adverbs of frequency. So in these adverbs of times and frequency, we use simple present form. Example, he occasionally comes. You see, present simple is used because of occasionally. So whenever you find in a sentence, these adverbs are there. In a question, if you find these adverbs are there, you must use simple present form. Here occasionally is there in the sentence, that is why comes, that is present simple form is applied here. You see, she always speaks the truth. Speaks is also simple present used because of always. So always, occasionally, generally, normally, usually, every or often, all these are the adverbs of frequency and adverbs of time also. They are generally used in simple present form. So I have already discussed the structures and the uses of simple present. So now your duty is to take down all the notes and read the notes thoroughly so that you can solve any question quite easily in your upcoming examinations. Okay, next class I will teach you present continuous or present progressive form. Thank you.